You were born into a battlefield you didn't choose. You didn't pick your bloodline. You didn't design the age you live in. You didn't script the betrayals, the losses, the storms. Fate handed you your starting ground. Brutal, merciless, indifferent. And weak men have cursed it ever since the beginning of time. They cry out at the heavens. They beg for different circumstances. They drown in self-pity, convinced that life owes them comfort because they showed up. But you were not born to curse your fate. You were born to conquer it. You see, fate is not your enemy. Fate is your battlefield. It is the ground you are called to dominate. It is the material you are meant to shape. It is the fire you are destined to mold into your throne. Most men waste their entire lives asking the wrong question. They ask, why me? But the real question, the only question that matters, is, what will I do with it? You didn't choose your pain, your obstacles, your enemies, but you choose what they become. You choose whether they are your chains or your crown. You choose whether you rot in the dirt or carve your name into the bones of time itself. The Shadow Army does not curse fate. The Shadow Army grips fate by the throat and makes it kneel. Because life doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you can take. It gives you what you can hold on to after the storms have ripped the weak away. It gives you the cold truth and demands that you build your fortress with it. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than most. He didn't dream of easier times. He didn't waste energy wishing for softer days. He stared into the brutal reality of his era, the wars, the plagues, the betrayals, and he whispered to himself, good, good, because hardship sharpens. Good, because adversity reveals true character. Good, because fate does not destroy men, it reveals them. And if you are to rise, you must stop negotiating with your fate. You must stop waiting for fairness. You must stop begging for mercy from a world that rewards only savages willing to fight for every inch of ground they stand on. You must chain yourself to a higher law, a law that says, whatever fate throws at me, I will forge into victory or die standing. No complaints, no self-pity, no bitterness, just pure, cold, relentless action. Your fate is not a curse, it's a forge. It's not the reason you are weak. It's the material you must turn into strength. Fate throws the unchosen at your feet. Broken homes, betrayals, sickness, poverty, heartbreak. But it doesn't define you. It dares you. It dares you to stand when others crawl. It dares you to build when others break. It dares you to become so fierce that the weight meant to crush you becomes the stone under your throne. The question is never, was my fate fair? It is, was I savage enough to use it? The cowards scream at the sky. They punch walls. They drink themselves into numbness. They gossip. They slander. They decay. They become another corpse rotting in a field of wasted potential. And the world forgets them, because the world forgets the weak by design. But the ones who bend fate to their will, they become legend. They become pillars that the storms cannot uproot. They become gods cloaked in mortal skin. You will suffer. You will be betrayed. You will face moments where your knees buckle and the weight seems unbearable. Good. That is the moment you earn your place in the Shadow Army. That is the moment you carve your name into the foundation of eternity. The heavy burdens are not there to break you. They are there to separate the weak from the real. They are there to carve a line between the forgettable and the immortal. You must swear a new oath. No whining, no despair, no fantasies of an easier life. Only acceptance and conquest. Only brutal ownership. Only standing when standing feels impossible. A king does not question the battlefield. He adapts, he endures, he conquers. Your fate is your arena, and every hardship you survive becomes another stone in your throne. When the night falls and no help comes, you move anyway. When the blows rain down without mercy, you advance anyway. When everything you built crumbles in your hands, you rebuild anyway. A man who has truly accepted his fate fears nothing, because he understands that no external force can dictate the fire inside him. That fire is his alone, untouchable, sacred. You live by a single sacred law. Fate does not choose my worth. I choose what my fate becomes. Chain yourself to this law, and you become untouchable. Chain yourself to this law, and you become a force that fate itself must respect. Because the truth is simple. Fate tests all men, but only a few turn their chains into swords. You were not made for ease. You were not made for comfort. You were not made to whimper about the cards you were dealt. You were made to rise. You were made to crush. You were made to take the fire of the gods and mold it into your legacy. Do not ask for a lighter load. Train for a stronger back. Do not pray for softer ground. Harden your steps until even the sharpest stones break beneath your march. Fate bends to the will of the relentless. It shatters under the command of those who do not retreat. And when your final day comes, when death steps forward to claim you, you will not look back with regret. You will not cry out for more time. You will stand tall, eyes burning, and you will say, I did not beg. I did not crawl. I did not curse my fate. I bent it to my will. That is the law of kings. That is the creed of gods. That is the fifth doctrine of the shadow army. Accept nothing. Endure everything. Conquer whatever ground fate gives you. And when they ask how you survived it all, how you carried burdens that crushed lesser men, how you stood while others fell, you'll answer without words. You'll answer by existing. You'll answer by being the living proof that fate bows to the strong.